You're coming with me. I need a father asterisk. The winter market bustled with activity despite the biting cold. King Demon moved through the crowded stalls with two of his guards trailing at a respectful distance. He needed to escape the suffocating atmosphere of the castle. If only for an hour asterisk at 30 years old, he'd ruled the Lycan territories for 7 years with an iron fist. Respected, feared, but never loved. It was enough. Love was a weakness he couldn't afford. Asterisk he paused at a weapon stall, examining a ceremonial dagger. When he felt it, a small hand gripping his cloak with surprising strength. Asterisk, you're coming with me, announced a voice behind him, high-pitched and utterly certain. I need a father. Asterisk Demon turned slowly, prepared to terrify whatever foolish adult had allowed their child to accost the king. Instead, he found himself staring down at a boy no more than 6 years old. The child had tangled dark hair, smudges of dirt on his hollow cheeks, and the most determined expression Demon had ever seen on such a young face. Asterisk the king froze, genuinely shocked into silence. Asterisk, did you hear me? The boy tugged harder on his cloak. You're big and strong and you smell like alpha. That means you can protect us. So you're going to be my father now. Asterisk one of the guards stepped forward. Boy, release His Majesty at once. Asterisk His Majesty? The child's eyes widened, but he didn't let go. If anything, his grip tightened. Even better. Kings are rich. We need food and somewhere warm to sleep. Asterisk us? Demon found his voice, curiosity overtaking his initial shock. He raised a hand, stopping his guards from intervening. Who is us? Asterisk the boy gestured to a shadowed alcove between two stalls. 3 other children huddled there, 2 girls and another boy, all appearing younger than their spokesperson. They watched with wide, frightened eyes, but the oldest girl held the others protectively. Asterisk. That's Lily, Thomas, and Sarah, the boy said. I'm Marcus. We've been taking care of each other since the fever took the grown-ups from our village. But winter's getting worse and Thomas is coughing and Sarah cries at night because she's hungry, and I'm trying but I'm not big enough yet. Asterisk his voice cracked on the last words, the facade of bravery crumbling to reveal the terrified child beneath. Asterisk Demon stared at the boy at Marcus and felt something shift in his chest. Something uncomfortable. He'd built walls around himself for years, allowed nothing and no one to penetrate his carefully maintained distance. Kings couldn't afford sentiment. Asterisk yet, here stood a 6-year-old orphan, who'd looked at the most feared man in the realm and decided he would make an acceptable father. Asterisk, Your Majesty. I'll have the guards escort them to the orphanage, his captain said quietly. Asterisk, no. Marcus's shout drew attention from nearby merchants. No orphanage. They separate you there, and they're mean to Omegas. He glared up at Demon with desperate defiance. I chose you. You're supposed to take care of your pack. That's what fathers do. I am not your father, Demon said, his voice harder than he intended. Marcus's face crumpled, but he lifted his chin. Then you're not a very good king. My day always said a good leader protects the weak. Are you not a good leader? Asterisk the silence that followed was deafening. Several merchants had stopped to watch, and Demon was acutely aware of the eyes upon him. But more than that, he was aware of the 4 small faces staring at him with a mixture of hope and despair. Asterisk he thought of his own childhood cold, brutal, designed to forge him into a weapon. His father had shown him no softness, no mercy. It had made him strong, but it had also made him alone. Asterisk, what happened to your village? He asked finally. Asterisk Marcus's shoulders sagged slightly. Red fever. Started with the healer's family, then spread. Most of the grown-ups died. Some of the kids too. The ones who lived, the other villages took them in if they had family elsewhere. But we don't have anybody. Just each other. Asterisk. And you thought approaching the Lycan King and demanding he become your father was a sound strategy? Asterisk. You stopped, didn't you? Marcus said with heartbreaking logic. Everybody else just walked past. But you stopped. Asterisk Demon looked at the boy, truly looked at him. Beneath the dirt and desperation, he saw intelligence, courage, and a fierce protective instinct that reminded him of himself. The other children remained huddled together, siblings perhaps. Bound by trauma and survival, he made a decision that would likely have his council questioning his sanity. Captain, arrange transport to the castle. These children are now under royal protection. Asterisk Marcus's face transformed, hope blazing in his eyes. Does that mean, asterisk, it means, Demon interrupted, that you will have food, shelter, and education. It means you will be safe and cared for. It does not make me your father, asterisk, but you'll keep us together? The oldest girl, Lily, spoke for the first time, her voice trembling. They won't separate us? Asterisk Demon met her fearful gaze. You will not be separated. Asterisk, then that's close enough, Marcus declared. He finally released the king's cloak and grabbed his hand instead, his small fingers barely wrapping around Demon's palm. Come on, everyone. We have a home now. Asterisk the other children emerged from their hiding place, hesitant but drawn by Marcus's enthusiasm. The youngest, Sarah, couldn't have been more than 4. She looked up at Demon with enormous eyes. Asterisk, are you really a king? She whispered. Asterisk, I am. Asterisk, do you have a castle? Asterisk, yes. Asterisk, with towers? Asterisk, several. Asterisk, a small smile crossed her face. I've never seen a tower. Asterisk, something cracked further in Demon's carefully constructed armor. He looked down at the 4 orphans, at Marcus still gripping his hand with absolute trust, and wondered what he'd just committed himself to. Asterisk, the castle staff would be horrified. His council would object. And yet, as they made their way through the market, the fearsome Lycan King leading 4 bedraggled children like a strange parade, Demon felt something he hadn't experienced in years. Asterisk, purpose beyond power. Connection beyond duty. Asterisk, we should warn you, Marcus said chattily as they walked. Thomas snores really loud, and Lily has nightmares sometimes. And Sarah still waits the bed occasionally, though we don't tease her about it because that's mean. Asterisk, Marcus. Lily hissed, mortified. Asterisk Demon glanced down at them, at their hopeful faces and ragged clothes, and made another decision. Asterisk. Then we'll ensure Thomas has a room where his snoring won't disturb others. Lily has a nightlight and Sarah has extra bedding. Problems have solutions. Asterisk, see? Marcus grinned triumphantly at his siblings. I told you he'd be a good father. Asterisk, I am not. Demon began, then stopped. What was the point? The boy had decided, and arguing seemed futile. Asterisk besides. As Sarah slipped her tiny hand into his other palm, he found he didn't want to argue as much as he should. Asterisk, perhaps kings could afford sentiment after all. Just this once.